This lesson is part of a series dedicated to dependent drop-down menus. What do I mean by dependent drop-down menus? Basically, here you have three lists, and in each list you have a set of items. If I go to my first drop-down menu, I can select a list, and then in the second drop-down menu, I will get automatically all the items that are related to this list. In the previous lessons, we learned the basic concepts and we did something very quick to be able to create this dependent dropdown. The biggest drawback that we had is that if, for example, I add a new item at the bottom of one of those lists, sometimes it will not refresh in my drop-down menu and I will have to change my formula, which is not ideal. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to do this dynamically. Now, if this lesson is a bit difficult for you, I have put a link to the previous lessons in the description so you can check them out. And I also will put a link to the workbook which will have all the examples related to dependent drop-down menus. So let's start from scratch, and here I have the same data set. What I'm gonna do first is create Excel tables for every list I have. So this is my first list. I'm gonna select it, do insert, and then I'm gonna create a table called TList1, enter. Then we're gonna do the same for the other two. We're gonna call it TList2, and then we're gonna have insert table, okay, and then TList3. The other thing I want to do is create another table which will have the names of the headers. So I'm gonna call it lists, and then I'm gonna just copy this, Control C. I will go here, I'll do home, paste, paste special, then we're gonna do transpose. So now we have the names. We're gonna create an Excel table. So insert table, and then we're gonna call it mapping. Let's just fix the format a little bit. So this is white and this is black. And let's work on our first dropdown. So first of all, I'm just gonna clean the dropdowns. So I'm gonna select the first one, press Ctrl, select the second one, go to data. Under data, we have data validation. We're gonna say OK, and then any value. Then we press delete, and we don't have any more a drop-down menu. Let's write our formula here before we put it in the data validation. This is best practice because if you have a problem, you can troubleshoot it. And there it will be very difficult to troubleshoot. So what I'm gonna do is write equal and then select everything I have in my list, and I get my three lists, right? Now let's try to take this formula and put it in the data validation and see what happens. So I'm going to select the formula, I'll do Control C, then escape, then I will select the cell, I will go to data validation, list, and then I'm going to say OK. You will see that you will get an error. Why do I get an error? Because data validation doesn't like tables and so on. So what can I do in this case? What I could do is use something called indirect function. So here before my mapping, I'm going to do indirect, open parentheses. You can see that this is a text, but this is a table. So I'm going to put this in double quotation mark, close the parentheses, and do enter. Nothing has changed. I still get the same data, but now if I go do Control C, escape, go to F50, then I'll do data, data validation, list, and paste this, I won't have a problem this time. So now I have my tree list, and the beauty of it, you add another list here, it will automatically update in the menu. This is done. Now we have to work on the dependent drop-down menu. So the first thing I could do, since I have list 2 here, I'm just going to do something static. Here we have some data validation, so I'm just going to remove it. And I'm going to do equal, then let's select this list and let's see what we get. Press enter, we get all the cars. If you see, this is my T list, and then this is the header of my column. But I only have one column, right? So if I remove this, I won't have a problem. You can see we get the same answer because there is only one column. So why having the column name? No need. The other thing that we could do is to make this dynamic, do a VLOOKUP to get the right T list so I can get the right elements, right? So how to create this VLOOKUP? Basically, I can add here table name to this table, and I can put the name of each table. So if we go to my first list, I go to table design, it's T-list1, right? So let's copy it, escape, we can go here, paste it, and we can type the rest, T-list2, T-list3. This is how I've named them. If you can go here, you see list2 and then T-list3. So now I can click here and do a VLOOKUP. Very simple VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP, the selected list, comma, that's my table, comma, second column, and false. And now I'm getting T-list2, which is T-list2 here. Same. However, if I just do equal and I do T-list2, I won't get anything because this is a text. To get what is in T-list2, I need to use this indirect function. So indirect, open brackets, we're gonna close brackets. Here don't put the quotation marks because this is already a text, so I don't need to convert this to a text. Enter, I get all my information. So now if I go Control C, then escape, we go to this menu and then we do data, validation, list, we paste this, okay. Now you get all the information in list 2. Let's try list 3 for example. You can see we get all the information in list 3, and then anywhere I add, for example I add July in list 3, it will automatically update. So this is one way to do dependent drop-down menus in a dynamic way. Keep on watching because in the next few lessons I'm going to show you a couple of more ways. And please, as usual, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel.